What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this, I want to give you my thanks. Be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, I wanted today to bring you five underrated horror movies, but specifically five underrated vampire films that I think deserve more attention, more acclaim, and more appreciation. So, like I always say, I don't like to make simplistic things more complicated what they need to be. Let's jump right into it. The first one is a movie called Vamp. This is a fun, weird, bizarre, and untraditional like movie. It's just so odd. And it stars Grace Jones, who's amazing in it. And it's just one of the more oddball just horror movies in general, but very specifically a vampire film. Just one of those oddball films that it's just fun. You can't help but have a good time and just be in awe of the wacky, strange, weird going ons that occur. And essentially about these guys that go like this club, and the club is basically ran by vampires. And it just everything that unfolds during that stay there. Like I said, it's such a strange movie. It's so odd. It's the things that happen, the color schemes, everything is to kind of just keep you, I don't know if on edge is the correct term, but to make you uncomfortable. I remember in college, one of my classes, they talked about um, how certain things are marketed and certain things are a certain way for a very specific reason. And I remember one of the details they gave was the color schemes in most fast food places are very bright and lots of yellows and reds because they don't want you to stay that long. They want you to come in, eat your food, get out. We look at a restaurant, like a more sit down traditional restaurant, where they want you to stay. They want you to spend your time there. The colors are much softer. They're more greens and blues and things that going to talk about generalizations, but that typically make people feel more comfortable and want to stay longer. So that's what I mean when I say it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's just those bright, vibrant, flashing colors. It's these, weird interactions. Everything there just feels off. And but in the best way possible. It's so much fun. It's such a great movie. It's such a energetic film as well. I can't recommend this enough. Vamp. It is a much underseen film. Should have way more fans than what it does. Next is a movie that over the years had gained a lot of traction and gained a lot of fans, and that is Near Dark. I'm going to talk about in another video. Arrow in the Head, back when it used to be ran by John Fallon, was a big influence on me in finding different films when I was younger. And Near Dark was one of the films he gave a great review to that I sought out to see, and it became one of the staples. I love this film, and what's cool about this particular DVD I got is that you see kind of like all the characters. They each have like a little quote, and you see like this one, and you see her, and you see Lance Hendrickson. I don't want to show them all. I think that's pretty cool. But I love this movie. If you don't know what it's about a guy who meets a girl, falls in love with her, but she's a vampire, and so essentially what happens is as I'm struggling with this, but she's part of like this clan, this vampire clan, and he doesn't want to kill. That's he doesn't want to kill, and they're kind of pressuring him like, hey, you're a vampire now, you have to kill. That's how you survive. And why is this giving me such a problem now? Anyway, but yeah, so he I watched this movie countless times. I never had a second problem with it. It always goes in very, very smoothly without incident. And now all of a sudden it doesn't want to go in. But anyway, so still, despite the pressure, he refuses to kill. And then like his dad and his sister are looking for him. And the ending is pretty wild. They find him and they're fighting the vampires. And although I tell you what, the word vampire is never used in this movie. That's one thing. They never say vampire. They never use that particular term. I don't know why that was so hard. So it's a very different, unique, film about mortality, about morality, about what you're willing to do, and not willing to do, and love. At the end of the day, it's a love story. The chemistry between the two leads, is immaculate. It's stunning, and of course, the late great, amazing, legendary Bill Paxton is in this. One of my favorite. I mean, so is actually is it Alien? It's kind of a mini Aliens reunion because you have Bill Paxton, you have Lance Henriksen, and who's Jeanette Goldstein, who played why is her name slipping me? Hey, has anyone confused you for a man? No. No. Yeah. Have you ever been confused for a man? No. Have you? That's a great line in that movie. God, is it Vargas? Oh, I've watched Aliens. Well, I used to have the VHS. That's how long I've been watching Aliens. Why can't I think of her name? That's gonna eat me alive. Anyway, regardless, but the chick who plays, she's not even Hispanic. She's like, very much a white woman. But they back in the day, hiring an actual Hispanic woman was taboo or not done in Hollywood. So that's not her fault. I don't blame her for that. That's the system, a broken system. That's luckily still has work to do, but better now than it used to be. But yeah, she's in that. Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen are in this movie together. Excuse me, which makes sense because I believe at the time, Catherine Bigelow, who was the director, was still married to James Cameron. I believe so. So that makes sense that those three were in there together, seeing that they worked together on the movie Aliens. But Near Dark's amazing. I used to hate the ending. Now, spoiler alert, the movie is how many years old, but still, if you haven't seen it, just skip ahead a little bit. But so they basically cure the couple by giving a blood transfusion. And I used to hate that ending. I used to say, "Oh, that ending sucks. It's so fucking stupid." But then I listened. I think it was Lance Henriksen. Maybe it was him. I'm pretty sure it was. But if it wasn't, it was somebody from the cast and crew. And they gave an interview. Essentially, an interview. They're like, "Hey, listen. A lot of people it's a controversial ending, but he's like, we never said the word vampire, so we never." And I'm paraphrasing. This is not his exact words, obviously, but he basically said, "We never said that we were vampires, so we we're not beholden to any particular mythos or you know urban legend regarding vampires. So when they did the blood transfusion thing, um, it was he said it was unique, but the whole movie is unique. They never claimed to be traditional vampires, so that kind of made more sense. I still really like the movie. I think it's excellent. It's a great film, and my cat is causing chaos over there. But Near Dark, a masterpiece, like a masterpiece. Next, John Carpenter's Vampires. There's not much I can say about this film except it's just fun. It's fun. It's fun. That's it. I mean, it's not the most unique. It doesn't have this complex story. It doesn't have. Basically, it's a western with vampires. That is all it really is. James Wood is in it. He gives a really good performance. It's a really fun movie. I think the lead vampire is, I forget who the actor is who does the lead vampire, but he does a really good job. Um, this is just a really fun, really just badass movie. It is so good from start to finish. Um, it's movie like Near Dark. That's more stop causing trouble. That's more character study and philosophical, and has this much deeper, hey baby boy, much deeper story to it. But then you have John Carpenter's Vampires, which is just this fun, action-packed, adrenaline rush of a film that's just, I don't say there's no plot, but the complexity of the plot is dialed down, is more simplistic, but it is a lot of fun. So John Carpenter's Vampires is a film that I highly recommend. Phenomenal film. Next, Subspecies. Listen, this movie's weird. It's the closest thing I think you're gonna get to a more stereotypical traditional vampire. The castle, the gothic atmosphere, everything that you think about, I would say stereotypically that comes with vampires. This may Subspecies may be the most, I won't say basic, but the most, what's the proper word for it? I guess traditional. I mean, I try to think of another word, but really traditional is the best way to really describe this, because it's the castle, it's the vampire, it's all the tropes of the vampirism, it's the beautiful woman. Like, it really, truly, 100% is your more just back to basics vampire. And I say the movie is basic. It's a very good movie. This is Full Moon at its peak, at one of its greatest. Um, but it's a really well done, well made, traditional vampire movie, and for that, I think it's so worth a watch, especially if you want something more, um, you more castles and dark and brooding type of vampire. Very. He's not fast or quippy or anything like that, other than that nature. They're not trying to reinvent it. They are playing on the tropes of what a vampire is. And I believe it was shot in Romania, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've heard that somewhere. And I might be wrong. If I am, please forgive me. But I do remember hearing that it was shot in, I think, somewhere, Romania or somewhere in Eastern Europe. And again, I might be way off. I may be completely incorrect. Um, but anyway, um, wherever it was shot, the look and feel of it is spot on. It's amazing, and like I said, it just has that, is oozing that gothic, dark atmosphere. It is so good. It's such a good movie. I cannot recommend this enough. When people see Full Moon, they think cheap and stupid, and yeah, and that's warranted to a certain extent. But this movie's not that. This movie's amazing. Check out Subspecies. And lastly, um, I'll talk about a movie that I absolutely love, Stakeland. Um, this movie is starring the amazing, beautiful, talented Danielle Harris. Although she's not the focal point, um, I will say this: this is a guy with this, kind of like the experienced killer with the mentor that he's somewhat reluctantly lugging around, and it's in a post-apocalyptic America where vampirism has taken over as an epidemic, and with that has risen, like, you gotta worry about vampires, you gotta worry about like you gotta worry about like rogue human units, um, human beings living in like small settlements. It had very much the feel of like a zombie movie, but it's still a vampire one. And it's so fun. It's so good. It's so entertaining. But it is very. It's like the anti-vamp is the opposite. Where vamp is fun and exciting and colorful and weird and bizarre and just all these different things. Stakeland is very mellow. It's very solemn. It's very melancholy. It's just slow and deliberate and very dark. But the guy who plays um the lead, the older hunter, he's amazing. He plays that role so well. The guy who plays a mentor, again, he plays that role very well. And Danielle Harris, unfortunately, she's not in it for too long, but of course, she steals the screen. Whenever she's on it, she's one of the very best actresses, um, in horror. So, but no, she's amazing in it. Of course, she's beautiful as always. And this movie is just absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's I can't say it's fun, but it is well done. It's well made. It's brooding. It's dark. It's it's it does feel, like I said, in a lot of ways like a zombie movie. It has a lot of those tropes, but again, the fact they made it into a vampire film, I think, was unique, and I think it, especially during this time when it was made, when zombie films were all the rage, and they were at their, like, probably, I don't know, they were at the peak still, but they were still very much significantly around. And so to see them kind of take that zombie tropes, but make it a little differently, I think was really fun. And I can't recommend this movie enough. This movie is so fun. It's so good. You should go see it. So that's Stakeland. So those are my 5 underrated vampire movies. You got your weird, quirky, fun one. We got a masterpiece, where the word vampire is never uttered. You have that's your fun, badass, Western style, type vampire movie. You have your very traditional, gothic, castle, brooding type vampire. And then you have the, I guess it's kind of like a Stakeland is kind of like a road movie because they're always moving from place to place, never staying in one place too long, hunting vampires. Um, so definitely this is worth a. I if I'm not mistaken, I made a sequel. I've never seen it. I don't know much about it, so I don't know. I can't recommend it or not recommend it because I've never seen it. But if it's anywhere good as the first one, it's worth it. It's worth a look. The first one's amazing. The Stake Land is a really good movie, a very underrated movie. I don't understand why it's not talked about more, especially comes to the better recent. I mean, this is I think 10 years old. Yeah, 2010. Is it really 2010? Jesus, I thought it was old. I thought it came out like after that. Huh? Is this movie really 16 years old? Well, I take back the recent part. Almost 2 decades old. I guess I'm surprised people don't talk about it when they talk about vampire movies within the last, excuse me, last 20 years or so. Because this is definitely a standout. Definitely one of the best, I think. 2010. Why did I think it came out so much later than that? Jeez. Anyway, so that's it for the day. A bunch of different movies. No matter what your taste is, just something here that you're gonna like. So, that's all for now. See you guys later. Be safe, and don't forget. Let me know if you've seen these movies, if you like them, if you didn't like them, which ones you want to see, if you want to see all 5 of them, if you've seen all 5 of them. Anyway, guys, be safe. Thank you.